Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we are going to be padding a princess dart dress. You can see I have my pieces cut out here. So this is the foam we'll be using to pad our princess dart. But before we start, I want to tell you people about using cloth stay on your fabrics. It gives hold to the fabric. Apart from that, when you want to cut, iron out the cloth stay before you cut out your pieces. I see a lot of people cut out their pieces, then go to iron it on the cloth stay. It will make the ankara to shrink and then reduce the size, the measurement you have taken. I don't know if you understand, but I had cut out my ankara, then I ironed the cloth stay before using my patterns to cut my pieces out. So this is what I have here. So we'll be using this to cut out the shapes for our cup so that we can pad it. So the easier way I do is I use the pieces I've cut out. Then be careful when you are using a marker so that you will not stain your fabric. So down here, I just allow the foam to pass the underbust by just ½ inch. So I will just make a small mark at my underbust. Then on the princess dart line, I will just measure like 3½ inches and make a mark there. That's where my cut is going to stop. So you can use your chalk or your marker to create this so that it will help you. You are going to carve out this shape. It depends on how wide you want it to be. So at this point, you can decide to use your ruler as a guide. It can now help you bring it out. So this is what I will be. This is how I'll be cutting. So before I now cut the final one, I'm going to be placing it here to see what I have. So at this point, I'll be reducing the size. I don't want it to go too close to the ankle. So this is the shape of my cup where I'll be using for both sides. So let's go to the bigger one. So for this front piece, the other piece we had measured 3½. So this front piece we are going to just measure 3. And you can use a marker and make a mark. Please be very careful when you are using your marker so that you will not stain. Now this depends on how you want it. It's not a standard, but always remember that at the underbust it's just going to pass it by just ½ inch, but this is your mark. So from here you can now, you also remember to mark the underbust, which is right here. So at this point, you can now choose the shape you want. It depends on the shape you want. This is the shape I want, but you have to cut it in excess first. Then place it and then cut. This is our underbar, but this is the marking. From here you can now begin to shape. You can shape these markings out. This is my underbust. This is it. So if you don't want your foam to come to the center front, you can cut it out, but I suggest you sew it, then when you are trimming it out, you trim it out. It's a thing of choice. I would prefer to trim mine out after I had sewn it. Couple the pieces together so that I will know what I am sewing. The marker is just for you to see. You can equally do it without marking. So this is what I have for the center front. And then this is what I have for the side front. It's important to mark it so that you will know which one is the underbust. So as you can see, this is my underbust. This is the other way. This one is for this particular piece. So maybe I should just open everything. So these are our pieces. So you are going to sew it, and after sewing it, you will now trim the excess out, and you can equally reduce the shape. It's a thing of choice. So let me go and sew it and come and show you guys. Okay, so this is it. You can see it's not something that is very hard. This is the front. Then if you look at this edge, you don't want the edges to be thick, so you sew. If you look at this, I had sewn round, then I used scissors to trim it, and you can see that the edge is very tiny. There are actually two ways of doing this. For me, I prefer mine to look like a cup. So you are going to sew. Look at this sewing round. You will sew, then you use scissors and trim. That's actually what I did. So I went ahead and I coupled it. I fixed the lining, fixed the back so that you can see. So this is it. As you can see, I've already fixed and sewn the top. So I'm going to complete the whole dress and come and show you. It's just the normal princess dart, then sewing your pad. You sew your pad. After sewing your pad, you couple your lining, then you finish your dress. So let me finish the dress and show you how it looks like on my body.